Greetings YouTube. Today I would like to do a review of a new Kershaw knife that I've purchased. It's known as the Needs Work, and that is product code 1820BL, which stands for blue. This knife is available in the traditional black, blue, and red. First thing you're going to notice is besides the color, is the rather unusual scale pattern. First of all, there actually is a scale pattern on here, and then there's this larger, vaguely tentacle-like structure with 5 rings on either side, mirrored image on that side. And it is an assisted opening, speed safe, and it is a worn clipped edge, which I happen to be very, very fond of. I feel that the Warncliffe design means that if you start a cut here, you have full engagement all the way down through the draw. At no point does the traditional, clip point or spear point blade, it kind of pulls away from the cut, and this doesn't do that. But as opposed to an inside curve, which also doesn't pull away from the cut, this is much easier to keep sharpened. This is a hollow ground with a secondary bevel here. I think, yeah, I can get a secondary bevel in the light there. It is a very comfortable knife. Okay, it fits well in the hand. It's a full 4-finger grip. It also is, if you need to do a forceful stroke, you can do it this way, or you can even do it this way, which is also very comfortable. It's also very comfortable to do it this way with this sweep. In fact, I just used this morning to cut a box open, and that's very comfortable this way. And because of this really nice finger groove here, if you have to do a draw cut, it's very comfortable when you're pulling like this. It fits in your hand. You're not going to slip anywhere. Even if you were to hit something with the tip of the knife, you're completely safe in that regard. And for example, this is something that I might have to do if I were cutting a plastic strap on a pallet. Something I do at work on a regular basis. So overall, it's a very nice design. It's got a, let's close this up. It's got a nicely contoured overall feel. However, all is not roses and puppies here. It's fairly heavy. I'm finding myself comparing everything to the Kershaw Burst, and comparing to that, this is a much heavier knife. It's a wide handle. It's a wide blade, and that visually can be somewhat intimidating to some people, which can set individuals off if you work in an environment where knives are not common, and people might get upset. It's also very, very thick. This thing is 0.69 inches thick. That is a lot of blade. Another thing is, see the spacer back here? It's black. Why is it black? Why is it not blue? I can't quite fathom why they can make blue scales, but they can't make a blue spacer. I don't like spacers to begin with. I prefer pillar designs because it makes it much easier to clean your knife, either with a brush or like I normally do it, just with an air gun at work. But the big problem with this knife is right there, and that's the clip. This is a horrible clip. It is short, it is oddly shaped, it has far too much tension on it. This bend is too far down, it sticks too far out of your, it's this much of the knife, from where my fingernail is right here, up, sticks out of your pocket. They could have brought this bend another 1/8 inch up, which would have helped a little, but I consider it to be an absolute absurdity that a knife being produced in the year 2012 only has a single carry position. You can only carry this right-handed, tipped down. Now when you draw this knife out of your pocket, okay, now the clip's going to be on the outside of the pocket. You're going to put your hand like this, with your fingers on the outside, and your thumb on the inside. You're going to draw this knife out, and that's the position this knife's going to be in your hand. The flipper is here, which means you have to do this before you can open the knife. I consider that to be way too much work. It's poor ergonomic design. Whereas if the clip could be put here, when you would draw the knife, your finger's already in the right position. You're all set and ready to go. It's much faster and much easier, and in my opinion, you're much less likely to drop the knife. Having to swing it around if you're wearing a pair of gloves or something like that could be cumbersome. And I think that's just unconscionable that a modern knife has only a one-position clip, and it's a weird clip. I mean, I don't get it. And of course, left-handers even have it worse. Though you can deploy it left-handed because it's a flipper. Closing, it's a little difficult left-handed, but I am not left-handed, so maybe people who are left-handed would have less of a problem. It's a nice-looking knife. It cuts well. It's comfortable in your hand. It's a little heavy. I do question why the spacer isn't blue, but for me, that clip right there is a deal breaker, and I will be going back to carrying my Kershaw Burst. I'm glad I have it in my collection. It's a nice color, particularly good if someone needs a knife that's a high contrast color in case they drop it or something. But I can't say I don't recommend it. There are people who are going to really like this design, and it's cool to have in your collection. I'm glad it's in my collection. But man, that is just a bad clip design.